All right, what's going on, guys? Trey back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on some updates from all the interviews from the Comic-Con at home about the possibility of a Walking Dead Season 13 and the Walking Dead television series going past the end of the comics. Okay, so I thought this was a good one to go ahead and do for today. We got the question that came in from Lou Benner, who said, Trev, do you think The Walking Dead is going to have a Season 13? And I'll also put the link in the description to the comicbook.com article where it's got both some quotes from, I think, Scott Gimple and also Robert Kirkman about kind of the future of The Walking Dead television series and, at least some indication of what we can kind of expect, or here's the details of what they say, and then we'll give our thoughts about this after. It says, The Walking Dead television show could continue past the ending of the creator Robert Kirkman's comic book, with later episodes taking place after a lengthy time jump revealed in the Zombies, or the Zombie Saga's final issue, which is this issue right here, The Farmhouse, issue 193, the last issue of the Walking Dead comics. Well, now there's Negan Lives also, which is kind of an offshoot, but this is the last issue of the Walking Dead original comic book series, issue 193. And it says, so the former, according to executive producer Scott Gimple, the former Walking Dead showrunner turned chief content officer, wants to, quote, see more of the future established in the book's finale, which jumps ahead by 20 years plus, or 20 plus years after, spoiler warning, the assassination of legendary Rick Grimes in the comic version, who is immortalized for ushering in a new era of peace and safety by liberating the expansive Commonwealth civilization that comes to be led by President Maggie Greene. It says, quote, it's always been about fulfilling the spirit of the comic book, Gimple said during an exclusive interview with comicbook.com. Quote, when I read the last issue, I was like, I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this world that he's laying out. So that would be, he's referring to the world way in the future when Carl is grown up and Carl is a man. And so he has, a daughter of his own. And then there's the read it again, daddy thing at the end of The Walking Dead in the farmhouse. So Scott Gimple is saying that he wants to see more of the series after that time skip, which would be, for us, probably season 12, season 13, something like that, if they go ahead and do that. Depending on, because season 10, if it's extended by another 6 episodes, I don't know, that might affect the runtime somehow here for the season numbers. Gimple said during an exclusive interview with Combo.com, when I read the last issue, I was like, I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this world that he's laying out. And Kirkman even was like, hey, you see what I did there? See how much story is there? How about that? We, quote, we want to fulfill the book, Gimple added, but even in fulfilling the book, I think there's a lot more to go. Then it says, quote, I will say there's a lot of implied story in the final issue with the railroad meeting and the colony to the west uniting with the colony to the east. There's some general thoughts and notions that I have for that, Kirkman said during a live stream Q&A. Quote, if the television show ever gets to that point in the comic book series and we decide to continue past that point, I'm kind of excited about the idea of telling a little bit more with older Eugene and Judge Michonne and the different things that were in the comic series that could have gone on and we could have done more with. So that could be kind of neat. So I really like what I'm hearing here. What I'm hearing from both Gimple and Kirkman is that they have vision, or they see a lot of potential there, or a lot of opportunity there to have the Walking Dead television series go on past the end of the comics and possibly even get more seasons after, like a season 13 or season 12 or whatever, whenever they end up adapting the final issue of the comic book series into the TV version. So whenever this ends up finally making it into the TV series adaptation, they do see potential there for even more that they could do. And I'd have to agree with that, because this one, it almost feels kind of rushed for an ending. I am still happy with the ending and the way it worked out. It's got a huge time skip in it that comes out of nowhere. It's got a lot of things that we would have still liked to see in it that we didn't get to see. For example, in this version, like Carl's life. I'm sure there must have been many things that happened in that time skip that we didn't get to see. The events after that, way in the future, and you got to be thinking that some different things must have happened during that time. But they kind of went straight to that to kind of finish it as an end point. Based on the interviews, it sounds like because the comic book artist Charlie Adler he said he needed an end point, and he had asked Kirkman for an end point, and this was the end point that they set out for. So this is good information that we're hearing here. Now, it does also say that Kirkman said that if the television show ever gets to that point in the comic series. So, basically he's saying here that, it's not set in stone either way if the TV series is even going to get to this point right here. If they do it the same way, it sounds like that's kind of the idea, and that they want to, based on what Scott Gimple's saying, is that they want to still adapt the rest of the comic series into the TV series. But I'm happy to hear it sounds like both of them kind of see there being potential to go on past that. Now, him saying if the series ever gets to that point really makes me feel like they don't know, how many more seasons of The Walking Dead the series is going to get. Obviously they're involved with the creative process of it, the writing chief content officer, that whole thing, and how the whole thing kind of comes together as far as the content is concerned. But it also has to come down each season, I think, for a renewal from the channel itself, from AMC themselves. They have to greenlight the series each season. And so it sounds to me like if the series is still doing well and performing well in season 12, then yes, we likely would see a season 13, and maybe even further on past that if there's really enough demand there. So it kind of sounds like to me, really the decision on whether or not The Walking Dead continues past season 12 and past season 13 is probably more up to us, the fans, than it really is up to anyone else. If we are still watching the series all the way through, if we're still excited for it, if we're still anticipating it, if we're tuning in, if we're, maybe, supporting it by buying it on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever each year, if there's enough fan demand there for AMC feasibly to move forward with it and want to do it still, then maybe subscribing to their AMC premiere service, then we could see The Walking Dead go past the season 12 or 13. So I think that's really great news, and it sort of conflicts with what we had heard back in, I want to say, was it November or so of 2019 when the We Got This Covered article came out, which kind of said, and people did mention in yesterday's video even, the Michonne video, that We Got This Covered is not, they're not like to be taken as, and I know that too and have known that it's not to be taken as 100%, set in stone or guaranteed. Like Kirkman's saying here in this in this quote, it's not even decided yet if the show from them is going to get a season 12 or 13. That decision, I think, is made on a yearly basis when each series gets renewed or gets greenlit for the next year. So we'll see past COVID how much interest there is for The Walking Dead. To do predictions for Lou, I think the series will get a season 13. I do think so. We'll get the 6 episodes extended for season 10. It'll get a season 11 for certain. I mean, that's guaranteed. It'll get a season 12 for sure. And then I think they'll probably do a 13. The movies should be hitting around, season 11, season 12 type of time frame. It'll probably get a 13, and then maybe after that, maybe that's about it. 14, so, something like this would probably make sense to wrap it up around that time period. But you guys know, huge Walking Dead fans here, as you guys are, and we're happy to see, I think, any seasons they want to do, and then we'll see how that affects the other things they're doing, the movies series, if it's a series, Fear the Walking Dead, if that continues on for a few more years, which I think it'll at least continue for a couple more years. It's still like my second favorite series on TV right now that's on, so that's good. So a few comments for today. Leave your comments below about that. How many seasons do you guys think it'll get based on these new quotes? I'll predict 13 or maybe 14 as kind of like the final seasons of the show. But that, keep in mind, that's still like another 3, 4, maybe 5 years away, depending on delays here. Weapon X100 had said, I don't think we're ever going to see the Rick movies. So far as I know, Weapon X, I understand how you're feeling. They're all saying that we're still going to see them, and that they're not canceled, they're just delayed, and that Andrew Lincoln is itching to get back to it, itching to play Rick again, and so they're full steam ahead with the movies even still. So I'm happy to hear that. I would also be okay if they wanted to bring Rick back into the TV series somehow. I would also be fine with that if they wanted to do that too. I don't care either way, but it would be cool ultimately to see a Walking Dead movie, I do have to admit at this point. Since there's all the setup for it, you might as well do it at this point, right? So Logan Bredenmo said, does anyone think that the original artist for the Walking Dead comics issues 1 to 6 was better? I understand what you mean, Logan, that Tony Moore's artwork early on in the series is pretty good. He's got a very comic booky style. But I like Charlie Adler's artwork even better. I think it really goes good with the zombie apocalypse genre. I'm a huge fan of Charlie Adler, and I'd say I'm a bigger fan of Charlie Adler than I am of Tony Moore. But it would have been cool, like maybe if Charlie Adler needed a break or something, maybe if Tony Moore could have come back and done some more issues later on or something. I don't know if that's something that had ever been thought of. I guess probably not, but it would have been kind of cool. James W. had said, if the show even makes it to season 12, it might be down 1 million views an episode when it returns. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see how many people are interested for it in this fall and how many people want to see the next 6 episodes of season 10 after. Honestly, I just think that with this break in between, it's going to give everybody involved a little bit of rest. It's going to give the writers more time to plan out what they want to do creatively. So I don't think it's really going to hurt The Walking Dead. Now, in terms of the fans, though, we'll see how many people show up to want to watch the finale. But I think when the fall time comes around, you're going to have a lot of interest there from your fans to want to see Walking Dead again. I think so. The last one will be from Neil Watts, who says, Trev, please don't stop making the truth content. How about a Trev's Chan 3? So I'm going to work it in a little bit, Neil, as much as I kind of can. But the online social media giants, the big tech companies, Google, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the others, they just had a hearing, I think in the States. Was it a Senate hearing, something like this, where they're discussing censorship and what direction to take going forward, because it could skew, if they're censoring one political viewpoint, for example, it could skew the elections. So there's a lot of craziness going on right now with the censorship stuff. So far as I know right now, it's still continuing just as bad as ever, if not more. The big tech companies are doing what they want. They're censoring whatever they don't like or whatever they don't agree with. And, that's basically the stance right now. So I'll let you know if I decide to put more effort into uploading to BitChute or something or doing something like that. It's just after 4,100 videos with this channel, it really pains me to even think about starting some other kind of thing after the channel has got so much in it. So, but I'll keep you guys updated. I'll let you guys know if I get the gumption to want to do that. I'll let you know, and maybe we'll do it elsewhere, or we'll kind of do it in a very careful way here on YouTube, maybe in this channel. But we'll see, man. I'm sad as you guys are, that Google and YouTube and the other social media giants decided to do this. And, clean out channels, delete channels, take out lots of videos, without warning. But it's, it just fits in with my understanding of how the world actually does work. And it's unfortunate that they bent the knee in that way, but YouTube did. So it's their platform. I have to, kind of work with it. You guys have to kind of work with it too. So it's what they're doing. And even CNN and the others, the pyramid's putting even more pressure on them, because they're saying that, well, it took you 12 hours to take these videos down. What about all the people that saw the videos in that amount of time? I saw that in a CNN interview yesterday. I was like, are you effing kidding me? So now you're complaining about the amount of time the videos are posted and are visible for. You're not happy that they're taking them down. You're upset that so many people are seeing the videos before they get taken down, like the doctor's one, if you guys have heard about, with there was a few doctors who did a thing. Anyway, probably shouldn't talk about it too much, but you guys know, if you've seen the censorship stuff, if you're keeping up with it, there was a group of doctors that did a get-together where they talked a bit about some treatments for you-know-what, and the video got scrubbed, and then, CNN was complaining, but how many people saw it before it got taken down? It's like, It's like, guys, oh, the censorship is just, the censorship wars is what we should call this year online, the censorship wars. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and you can subscribe at the bottom left. Thank you guys for all your years of support, and I'll see you guys again soon for another video. It's Trev, saying peace later, guys. See you soon.